laws of Shabbos. So today's class 23. 23, and we start with Mishmeras Lashon. And today's topic, semen denial. Okay, page 91.
Okay. Our sages state, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said, that term Torah appears 5 times in the chapters which discuss the Metzora, whose affliction is punishment for having spoken Lashon Hara. This teaches that one who speaks Lashon Hara is considered as if he had transgressed the 5 books of the Torah.
So from number, they got the word Torah 5 times, right? And from in this chapter, so Metzora, like it's like he translates the whole 5 books. Could you read? There is a comment. You see?
Yeah. Sefer HaKedah, cited by Maharza Taveikur Rabbah, notes that the subject of Lashon Hara is prominently mentioned in all 5 books. The book of Bereshis, chapter 3, relates how the serpent, through cunning and deception, caused Adam and Eve to sin. The book of Shmos, chapter 2, verse 15, relates how Moshe was forced to flee Egypt because of the treachery of the son and of Aviram. The book of Vayikra, chapters 13 through 14, details the laws of Tzaras, which is divinely inflicted retribution for speaking Lashon Hara, and also contains the primary prohibition against speaking Lashon Hara. The book of Bamidbar relates that the episode of Miriam's Tzaras in chapter 12, the spy slander in chapters 13 through 14, Korach's rebellion in chapter 16, and the book of Devarim, in its opening verse, alludes to episodes in which the Jews in the wilderness were guilty of sinful talk. Right? Okay. Oh. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Yosef ben Zimra, whoever speaks Lashon Hara is considered as if he had denied the existence of God. As is written, those who have said with our tongues we shall prevail, our lips are with us. Who is master over us? Sefer Yerim explained that when someone wants to speak Lashon Hara, he first casts a glance in all directions to make sure that the subject of his evil words is not present. Seeming lack of concern that his words will be noted above conveys an impression that his mind, heaven, is not cognizant of what he is about to say. This is why speaking Lashon Hara is aiken, denial of belief in God.
It's very interesting concept, right?
Yeah.
He's afraid of that guy that he's going to talk Lashon Hara about right now, but he does not care about HaShem, who said, "Do not do it."
Yeah. Okay. What more must be said concerning the severity of speaking Lashon Hara? There is no recourse but to engage the evil inclination in battle, so that one will not become caught in the net of this bitter sin. Those who will emerge victorious will reap an inestimable fruits of their efforts, both in this world and the next.
That's just amazing. Any comments on what they said?
No, everything is direct in this book.
Yes. That's actually the same as this last Yeshirim. So it looks on the surface so simple that's why he said, I'm going to teach myself from what you know, but I'm going to teach myself. So yeah, you understand, on the surface it's so simple, the language is so simple, but it's so brilliant, unbelievable. Okay. So this last, so we continue with Melach of erasing, right? And we said how is erasing for constructive purpose. So when they would make a mistake in a tabernacle to write in the number on the planks, they would erase it and write the correct number on top. Okay. So then page 45, number 2. Additional details of the prohibition. A. Type of the script subject to the prohibition. Okay, what kind of script? As mentioned above, the prohibition pertains not only to erasing recognizable script, but in some instances to erasing nondescript marks as well. As we said, to improve the service. You remember? We said last time. In this section, we will focus on how durable and existing marks must be for erasure to be forbidden. How durable? Okay, let's see. The laws governing the melacha of erasing are related to those governing melacha of writing, for by definition, erasing is eliminating that which is written. So, of course, I mean, it's understandable there is a connection. So, erasing is eliminating of what it is written. Okay. Thus, it is forbidden to erase any existing mark that is of some degree of durability and would not make would make writing forbidden. So whatever you cannot write, you cannot erase. So basically, like in simple words, whatever you cannot write, you cannot erase. So okay, and plus that it's going to be that's a good rule. That's it. So I mean that it's going to like permanent script. As mentioned in chapter 1, there are two levels of the prohibition of writing. Under biblical law, it is forbidden to write a lasting script. There is to apply durable pigment, such as ink, for a surface or to a surface upon which it will endure, such a paper. So paper, like a classic example, right? So or even piece of wood, I guess it's not so easy to remove from the. Okay. Under rabbinic law, it is further prohibited to write with a non-durable matter, such as fruit juice, and to write upon the sources on which the script will not endure. So that's rabbinical, such as vegetable leaf. The same rules apply to erasure. Under the biblical law, it is prohibited to erase mark left by durable matter on a durable surface. So, for example, somebody wrote on a wall, right? So it's durable surface and durable, like with a pencil, let's say. Under rabbinic law, it is further prohibited to erase a mark left by a non-durable matter, as well as a mark left on a surface upon which it cannot endure. See page 43, okay, as we said last time. For example, it's non-durable script, so we said with this fruit juice, right? Okay, so it was A, B. Prohibited methods of erasing. It is forbidden to eliminate or destroy written mark by any means. This includes means that make the script disappear entirely, as well that means to leave it in place but make it unrecognizable. The following are some examples. It's very interesting. So number 1, rubbing out mark with the eraser. So that's like when we think about eraser, like a straightforward eraser. Okay. Number 2, washing it away. Also, right, you can wash away. Okay. Number 3, cutting or tear it apart, like food packaging, right, as we said. Number 4, blotting it out with the ink or white out. So basically, you blot out on top of it. So it's not like you're writing, but now it becomes unrecognizable. Number 5, distinguishes disfiguring by writing over it. So he wrote something over it, so now makes some like a draw, whatever he draw over it, so now it's unrecognizable. Furthermore, just as in engraving and sculpting consider forms of writing, so to destroy the engraved or sculptured figures by chipping at it or adding a clay is considered a form of erasure. So adding a clay like a Play-Doh, right? So it's so now he tried to disfigure whatever was before. So it's like sort of erasure. In short, any act of change, in short, any act that changes a recognizable figure so that it disappears or becomes unrecognizable, it's considered erasure. So I'm going to read again and we're going to explain. In short, in any act of change that a recognizable figure that changes recognizable figure so that it disappears or become unrecognizable is considered erasing. So whether you completely erase it like with eraser, or you add something to it, or you blot out, so now it does not look as the way it looked before. It's all forms of erasing. C. Exclusions. It was explained in chapter 1 that only the creation of the letters or figure is considered writing. Okay. Placing together several previously written letters to form a word is not considered writing and is permitted. It is similarly true that that only the elimination of the existing mark is considered erasing. Only elimination of the separating attached letters is not considered erasing. Okay. Thus, it is permitted to cut cake between the letters of the words written on a cake. So you're not separate. You see for example, it's happy birthday. It's H is separate, A is separate. So you didn't erase anything, right? So there is no problem. However, explained in chapter 1, attaching molded letters to a base is considered form of writing. It follows that separated molded letters from the base from a base is a form of erasing. Thus, it is forbidden to pull individual chocolate letters of the cake. Okay, so chocolate letter from the cake. Okay, I'm not sure. So today they do, as we said last time or that time before, on a piece on this plate, right? They do like chocolate plate, and they write whatever they want on that. So it eliminates all of the issues. Okay. So continue number 3. Some application of this prohibition. Okay. A. Removing wax, glue, or dirt from paper. As stated above, it is prohibited biblically to erase a blot of ink for the purpose of writing in its place. So it's biblical. It is similarly forbidden to remove a glob of wax, glue, dry food, or other adhesive substance from the surface for the purpose of writing in its place. Okay, so like some people, they eat and they read books, and now all of this crumbs and sauce and everything is in the book. Okay, that's a big issue. Removing that issue is with disrespect to the books. Let's start with that. Removing the adhesive substance is tantamount to the erasing because it prepares the surface for writing. Okay, so now there was piece of bread that it stuck between the pages. So now it's like when they remove this piece of bread, so it's like he's trying to. I mean, he prepares this surface for writing. Let's say it's on a white only. It's not on the letters. Furthermore, it is forbidden to remove from a page an adhesive substance that is obscuring the printed words or figures, and to expose the print. This too is tantamount to erasing for the sake of writing. Right? So, like sometimes the pieces of food or whatever they got stuck on a letter, so you're not allowed to remove it. Okay, so it's going to be erasing. Next page. Removal an adhesive substance from a writing surface upon which nothing was written and nothing is intended to be written is not considered form of erasing. Okay. Nevertheless, depending on the texture of the surface and the method of removal, this may fall under the prohibition of laundering, as explained in chapter 12. So laundering is when you try to improve some surface, but it's only like flexible, like a soft surface. It's not like it's not like a table or like floor. It's something soft, like material or even plastic or something. Maybe plastic, no, but other like absorbent material that you can wash. Okay, so continue. B. Peeling apart pages. If two pages of the book became attached by adhesive substance that fell between them, for example, particle of wood or glue, and the substance obscures the printed area, peeling apart page apart is tantamount to erasing the adhesive from the area, and it had been obscured. So basically, like if you got to the page and the pages got stuck, you're not allowed to separate them because of this food. Right? Furthermore, if the adhesive does not obscure any print, but by peeling apart the pages, the paper will tear and some print will be destroyed. The peeling also tantamount to erasing. So let me read it one more time to explain this example. Furthermore, if the adhesive does not obscure any print, so maybe it's like between the lines, right? So I mean, you can, or basically you can see what it says there, right? Maybe it's the end of the letter, or the partial letter is covered, right? But by peeling apart the paper, the pages will tear some print. So let's say it's at the end of the letter, right? And some print will be destroyed. The peeling is tantamount to erasing. Okay, so we cannot do that. So whether it's completely covered, partially covered, we don't do it. See cutting decorative figures on cake. That's like they have flowers, whatever they have on this cake. It's stated previously, destroying a letter or picture, even for no beneficial reason, prohibited rabbinically. Okay, we said that. So, if for constructive purpose it's biblical, for no reason it's rabbinical. Thus, if the cake is decorated with a frosting in the form of the words, letters of any distinct object, it is forbidden to cut the cake in a way that deforms the letters or ruins the picture. For example, if cake has a happy birthday written on it, it is forbidden to cut through the letters. It is also forbidden to peel the letters of the cake. So this also you cannot do, unless I mean, if you take this like a little deeper, cut a little deeper into the cake, there is no problem. You can remove, but the letters themselves you cannot remove. Separate letters. Okay. The following, however, are permitted. Number one, it is permitted to cut between the letters. So that's, I think, the most like the easiest solution. Just cut between the letters, or if you have flowers, wherever they have some decoration, so you just cut between the decoration. There is no problem then. Number two, if the letters were cut before Shabbos, but the pieces of the cake were left in place, it is permitted to separate the pieces on Shabbos. So that's another solution. So they pre-cut the cake, so now they can separate, no problem. Let's say they want to eat it on Friday night, so no problem. It is permitted to bite into a piece of cake that has a complete letter on it, even though the letter will thereby be destroyed. Only cutting prior to eating is forbidden. So basically, it's this number 3 is telling us. So I'm not erasing. That's normal way of eating. That's how I eat. So I cannot like stuff the whole piece into my mouth. I cut. I bite a little. So in the process, I destroyed the letter, but there is no problem with that. So as they say, the only cutting prior to eating is forbidden. Okay. Number 4. It is permitted to cut decorations that are not of the meaningful shape. So, for example, straight or curved line. So that's what they do, like curved line, 10 inches. Okay, so there is no problem. Number 5, it is permitted to cut figures that are baked into the fibers of the cake itself. And it is permitted to cut cake. So let's understand the first part. So basically, if the cake was baked like that, there is no problem. So, but with all of this frosting, they usually bake the cake and they start decorating on top of it. So it's like two separate things. So one more time, it is permitted to cut the figures that are baked into the fibers of the cake itself. And it is permitted to cut a cake or cookie that has meaningful shape. For example, a gingerbread man animal crackers. Okay, so there is no problem because they were baked like that. Right? It is forbidden only to cut letters or figures of another substance attached to the cake. So that makes our life a little easier. So next page, number 50.
I have a question. Bullet point number 4. Let's say it says you're allowed to cut decorations that are not of meaningful shape, and so on. So let's say you have a piece of paper, and then you cut curves or something like that, right? For a curve.
One second. We're talking about cakes only.
Oh, okay, got it.
So cake is for consulting, and that's what you need for Shabbos.
Okay.
The paper, we're going to get to the paper. So, okay, but I would say it's prohibited, rabbinically, of course. Okay, number 6. It is permitted to remove a letter along with a thin sliver of the cake or frosting the rest of it. So that's exactly what we said before. So if you want to cut all this happy birthday, so take with like I don't know what is it like thing called, just and take the whole happy birthday completely, like with a cream, with everything. There is no problem. It's not erasure because it take with surrounding the script. Put it in your plate and eat it and enjoy. So basically, it's
So let's say you take the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you get it to your mouth? You cut with the fork. You cut it. So that's basically erasing.
No. What number 6 is saying. So if you have some like I don't know, like I don't know what it's called, like flat implement.
Yeah.
You can go under. So and you can lift the whole happy birthday with the cream with whatever is under. You can put into your plate.
Got it.
So now you don't separate it, but we said when you eat, then eating is not considered to be like a raisin. That's a normal way of doing things.
Got it.
As our rabbis say it, and it's many times in Gemara up to here.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not here to drive us completely crazy. So they say up to here, that's good. Okay, so continue. Number 4, additional practical applications. Opening book that have stamped edges, right? On like a Brooklyn Public Library, right? One should avoid opening book that has words stamped on the edge of its pages, since by doing so one breaks apart the words. However, if there is no other copy available, one is permitted to use the book with a stamped edge. Right? See page 8 for explanation of this rule. We're going to explain right now. Okay. If one knows in advance on Shabbos that he will need to use such a book, he is advised to place a sheet of paper between the pages, thus breaking apart the letters before Shabbos. So I mean, some sages say so it's like you erase it when you open the book, right? And then you close it, it's like you're writing. So I mean, looks like, right? Theoretically, like there were letters, and now I opened the books, I erase it. Then I close, I wrote them. But other sages say that's not. It's not that. That's a normal way of using. So they said, don't go crazy. It's like as we said, just opening the window. When you open the window, you're not breaking the wall. That's normal way of using. You open the door, you're not breaking the wall. That's okay. So preferably, I mean, today, no, I don't think anybody using this Brooklyn Public Library or stuff. Okay, continue. B, opening paroches, arc curtain. That's very interesting. We're going to learn. It is permitted to draw apart two sides of the split paroches, rather the curtain, right? Mm-hmm. Before the Aron Kodesh. Even if the two sides together form a unifying design. So it's like you break in some way, right? That you're breaking the picture. It is even similarly permitted to draw the sides together. This is because the two halves are not attached. It is preferable, however, when the two halves form a unified design, to leave them slightly apart before Shabbos, to avoid closing them entirely on Shabbos. Okay, so let's see, there is commentary. Note, Hagaon Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal writes that it is a time-honored custom to make paroches of a single curtain rather than two pieces. So, I mean, personally, like in most of the shows that I've been to, it's one curtain. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Like maybe it's like huge, like place, and they need for I don't know 20 Sefer Torahs or something like. But otherwise, it does not make sense to do it of two pieces. Okay. C. But as we said, that there is no problem. Removing. I remember when I saw it. It was in a shul that used to be Reform, and then they went Orthodox.
Mm.
Right. So basically, but of course, Reform had a lot of money. They did such a beautiful curtains. Unbelievable. That's the only place I saw this two parts. Okay, continue. See, removing pieces from food. Prices. I'm sorry. Removing prices from food. So like on Apple, it's not only prices, like some code, they put like some code there. It is forbidden to wash or rub off numbers that are stamped on the food. This falls under the biblically prohibited category of erasing for improvement. Since the appearance of the food item is thereby enhanced. So here in this specific example, they say when they have ink, right, and they put like stamp on an apple, let's say, or on an orange. Right? So that would be a problem. But today, as we said, if you have the sticker on your apple, so you just cut it with a little skin, just a little extra apple skin, there is no problem. Okay, but there for sure, if it's only stamp, for sure you are raising to improve the surface. Okay, next one, D, cutting food wrappers or stickers. Okay, stickers. When cutting food when cutting open food wrapper, it is forbidden to destroy any letters or pictures on the wrapper. Similarly, when cutting food that has stickers attached to it, for example, name brand sticker on the fruit, bakery sticker on a challah. Sure, why would they do that? It is forbidden to destroy any letters that are on a sticker. So basically, so if they have on a wrapper, so the easiest solution to this, just take scissors and cut like straight, so whatever you need, so it would be more precise, more accurate, so you would not be cutting the letters or stickers is okay. Because when you do it manually, you can like pull and you were intended to it, so it's going to cut it one way, but it's like here different way. Okay, that's the problem. Continue. E. Cleaning foggy windows. It is forbidden to wipe away letters or pictures. Scrolled in the condensation or on the window panes. This is generally considered erasing for improvement, as we understand, right? So now they improved it. Now can see better through the window, right, through the glass. Since the appearance of the window, our visibility through it is usually enhanced. Okay. Nevertheless, it is prohibited only rabbinically, since the writing is not for a durable type. Not durable type, I tell you what, so sometimes when somebody like write on these windows, so since we have like oil on our fingers, so it's going to stay like there for a long time. So So to say that it's not durable is the surface is not durable, but it's going to stay. Okay, continue. Washing ink off the body. It is permitted to wash ink stains from one's body with a free-flowing soap. Free-flowing soap we discussed last time, so it cannot be too thick. Okay. However, it is forbidden to wash off letters or pictures. So some stain, whatever you can wash off. Okay, you're not improving the hands or whatever the stamp is, but that's what you do. You just wash. Okay, G, clean and spills with newspaper. One should not clean up the spilled liquid with a paper that has writing on it, since the liquid will erase the letters. So I would say that there is no problem if you have napkins and there's some writing on the napkins, some picture of the napkins, so that they not go this the print is very durable, it's not going to come off. Only when something is not for that, like they say we have a piece of newspaper, and you try to wipe something out, so that only there the letters can come off erased or something. Okay. H, opening a bencher with Amazon booklet. Okay. If the pages of the bencher are stuck together with food particles that obscure some of the print, it is forbidden to tell them apart on Shabbos. So, all right. So that's what I saw many times in the shuls and stuff like that. So I'm not sure why this would be food in a bencher, because in the first place, the definition when you start benching when there is no food, when you finish eating. So it's not like you eating over the open bencher, right? It contradicts each other. Okay, but that's the reality is that people, I mean, somehow there is food between the pages. Okay. Okay, continue. Let me check time 1 second. So we're up to number 5. And it says activities prohibited because they might lead to erasing. So now we're going to fence, right? Fence that our sages install for us. The sages prohibited reading certain material on Shabbos, where there is a room for concern that the reader might erase incorrect or irrelevant information contained in the material, and thus transgress the melach of erasing. The prohibition applies to reading business-related material, such as contracts. Okay, commentary. Some poskim consider the reading of business-related material to fall under rabbinical prohibition of pursuing business goals. Okay, so that's why we don't read this stuff. So one more time, the sentence from the beginning. This prohibition applies to reading business-related material, such as contracts, and reading the menu or guest list for a meal that one is hosting. So, for example, you read your menu before, so now you forgot to buy this and that, so you want to say that this I'm not going to have this one item number 1 and item number 4. Okay, so again, so you might get cross it out. Okay. The sages further prohibited reading most other secular materials on Shabbos to ensure that one would not read business-related material. This additional prohibition is known as a decree lest one read information document. There is a business-related material. So that's like fence around the fence. Okay. Only certain limited. Like some fiction books, for example, it's not recommended to read, but the guy is not going to erase anything in that. But here, this is a real business-related material for sure. Only certain limited categories of secular materials were excluded from this prohibition. as we will see, as we will set forth below. Okay, the prohibition against reading material that one might erase and other secular material apply to scanning the script with the eyes, or as well as enunciating the words. Okay, so let's read one more time and explain. The prohibition against reading material that one might erase and the other secular material apply to the scanning the script with the eyes, as well as enunciating the words. So even with eyes, so basically, in other words, you're not allowed to look there. So you have this business material, and it's on your desk, so it's not like you touch it. You just bend out to read whatever the open letters, so not allowed. Let us proceed to describe 3 prohibitions and their exceptions. Okay. 3 prohibitions. Okay, number 1, business-related material. The prohibition of reading business-related material applies to all material associated with business matters. Business matters. So one more time. The prohibition of reading business-related material applies to all material associated with business matters. So whatever part of the business does not matter. Everything is prohibited. This includes, for example, formal and informal contracts, bills and receipts, bank statements, blueprint, and floor plans. The prohibition also applied to reading investment advertisements. So in some of these so-called religious magazines or newspapers, so you have let's say you have Torah articles, Torah thoughts, and stuff like that, there is no problem. It is permitted to read, but they're full of advertisements. That's the issue. This includes the advertisement printed in newspapers and magazines. Okay, catalogs offering merchandise or for sale, and the advertising flyers distributed by the stores, or included in a pull-out section of newspapers. So all these coupons and stuff like that, not allowed to look at. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think it's like straightforward. So I mean, he would see this coupon for his favorite juice, so he might get to cut it out or whatever to do something with it. Okay. So number 2, guest list and menus. The Gemara states in Shabbos 148b and through 149a that on Shabbos one may not read the list of guests that are to be invited to a meal or a menu for a meal that one will serve to invited guests. I mean, they have many guests, let's say, and they have a menu, and so they make sure that they brought out all of the foods and or prepared. Maybe it's in more than one refrigerator. Maybe it's in like neighbor's refrigerator. So it's very possible that people will do that. This pertains whether the meal will take place on Shabbos or afterwards. So it's very interesting. So it's not only on Shabbos, so maybe they prepare it for Monday, for Sunday, right? The Gemara gives 2 reasons for this prohibition. One reason is that the reader might reconsider inviting one of the guests or serving one item on the menu, and might erase part of the menu, part of the list or a menu. Okay, so I don't want this guy, or let's say I want this guy to sit at that table next to this guy. So okay, so that's how it all starts. The other reason is that this falls under the degree less one reads informal documents. Right, informal documents. The first reason applies specifically to the host of the hostess, but the second person, the second reason applies to all others as well. So if it's not my party and there is a list of the guests, I have no idea who invite, who not invite, what was the menu. So it would be like a little easier, right? But the second reason, as we say, applies to everybody, meaning reading this business-related material. Okay, informal documents. Okay, continue. There is no exception to the prohibition against reading material that one might be inclined to erase. No exception to the prohibition against reading material that one might be inclined to erase. Thus, a host or a hostess may never read menu, invitation list, or a sitting plan on Shabbos. Maybe they prepare like a big event, planning big event. Okay. However, as mentioned in the introduction to this chapter, there are certain exceptions to the general decree against reading secular material. Okay. General decree. One of the exceptions is reading a script of a mitzvah matter. Certain festive meals, including Shabbos meal, are considered Seudas mitzvahs, mitzvah banquets. It is therefore permitted for somebody other than the host or hostess to read the invitation list or a menu on Shabbos meal. So the guy, they cannot read, but somebody can read it for them. Okay. Even a child of the host or the hostess may read the invitation list or a menu. So they themselves cannot, but somebody can read it for them. A husband may read the menu prepared by his wife if he is not actively involved in preparing the meal. I mean, he has no idea what's going on there, right? Which happens sometimes. Furthermore, it is considered a mitzvah to ensure that the guests to a meal are seated comfortably and in pleasant company. So maybe this guy cannot stand another guy, so okay, so no, you just found out 3 minutes before Shabbos, right? Thus, it is permitted for someone other than the host or the hostess to read the sitting list for the benefit of the guest. Nowadays, so I mean I think it's clear. Nowadays, it is customary for the messenger inviting people for a meal to always refer to an individual list, in invitation list. So I mean that they ask people to come. I'm not sure why they didn't do it before Shabbos, but whatever reason was. So the guy goes around. Let's say it's Eruv. There is an Eruv, so he can carry the list. He can go around the neighborhood and ask people that they want to invite. Okay, even if the meal is not Seudah mitzvah. Okay, lest he inadvertently trigger a quarrel by inviting an unwanted guest. So basically, so he can invite. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure what's not Seudah mitzvah. Whatever, maybe I don't know. Whatever is it? They want people in their house. So in case if he would ask somebody else to come, the wrong person. That's not good. All right, so let's stop here. Number 3. All right, time this up. I have to go. All right, any questions you have?
No.
Okay, good. So I saw that you sent me something. I didn't have a chance. So Bli Neder, I'll try tomorrow.
Got it.
So I have another class right now. Okay, sorry.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה. אני